So we're now on Delta Halo with a weapon loadout that is really not great for what we're dealing with. As I pointed out last time, they start you out at the beginning of this mission with an SMG and a rocket launcher. So you've got a power weapon that is best suited for being anti-vehicular in an area that has no vehicles that you're competing against. And you've got the SMG, which is just all around pretty damn bad as a weapon. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can make the SMG work, but it's not good by any stretch. Oh, I let the cutscene play out again. I thought it checkpointed after the cutscene.
Report!
Both engine cores have spun to zero. We're drifting.
Archer pods are cold. I'll need to rekey the system.
Do it and find out where we are.
Sorry for the quick jump, Sergeant. You in one piece?
I'm good. Chief?
We're fine.
I always feel like the
there's
way
value.
this is
Coming into view
represented
now.
implies that
What exactly am
they
I doing?
effectively went from Earth straight to here immediately. Like it was almost like a teleportation thing. Whereas,
So this is what my...
at risk of sounding like an absolute fucking
I thought Halo
nerd,
was
with
some
the
sort of
way
super
that
weapon.
the books do subspace travel, yes, they travel at a faster than light
I
speed,
care if I have
but
to
it's
clear
still a speed, it's
Where's
not
our target?
The
instantaneous.
enemy ship has stopped above
So,
the ring, ma'am. We're going to pass right over
I think
it.
someone
Given what we
estimated
know
that they
about
probably
this
were
ring,
still
it's even
travelling
more
for a
important
few
that we capture
hours
the
to get
prophet
here.
of regret. Find out why he came to Earth, why he came here.
Chief, take first platoon. Hard drop. Secure the landing zone. Sergeant, load up 2 flights of Pelicans and follow them in.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Until I can move in sight, I'm going to keep a low profile. Once you leave the ship, you're on your own.
Understood.
Over the target in 5.
Hang on to your helmet.
And we're dropping into really obviously Africa in a second. There, really obviously Africa. Am I getting mic feedback? I was thinking getting mic feedback. I don't think I got the volume from earlier.
Mind the
But...
bump.
No, we're still getting feedback. Sorry about that. Don't know what I can do about that. I've got the gain turned all the way down on my hardware, so it shouldn't be picking up feedback. I'll tell you what though, I don't have the,
Could we possibly make any more noise?
that might be
I
better.
guess so.
Sir, we gotta neutralize those turrets!
So I did turn up the mic on sorry, the volume on the physical level of my give me that. Give me a weapon that's worth it down.
Clear this, LZ. The Pelicans are right behind us.
Ammo. Not as much as I'd like, if I'm honest.
Pay for your... Get on out here so I can sight on you.
Hard to me.
How many elites are there in this building? Ran towards me. He wasn't even the person I was trying to sticky. There we go. That's more like it.
Artillery disabled, Sergeant. Landing zone secure for the moment.
I hear you. Starting our approach. Hang tight.
Easier said than done. Inbound Phantoms, Chief.
Here it comes! Enemy above us!
Truth be told, this is probably the best thing to use a rocket launcher for at this stage of the level.
Bloody alien!
Because it's not too long from now that you actually get access to a tank, which kind of eliminates your need for any handheld power weapon whatsoever.
You're dead, pig!
Come on.
Get to it, Marine.
Don't be stupid, mate.
There we go. Some ammo. Pretty sure we get a second.
Another Phantom on approach.
Yeah, Phantom. Hasn't despawned, I'll get that battle rifle back as well. How much ammo is left in this? 3 shots. You can take out the guns at least.
Hey, there's another one!
What was shooting at? Oh. Just the vehicle that is indestructible, so I don't know why we're bothering.
Stupid bugger!
Leave the cursing to the
That's it. No, come back.
Hey, knock yourself out. I think I just won the platoon poll!
Hold here until the Pelican arrives, Chief.
No, I thought there was a second sniper rifle that I could pick up. Must have despawned. Oh, there is a second rocket launcher though, I didn't realise that was up here. Or rather, I didn't remember that was up there. I'm sure I've probably found that before.
Here comes that ride!
For what it's worth, it's an entirely valid approach to this level to completely ignore this whole opening section, just run off on foot. If you're willing to take Covenant vehicle, you can
There's a big building in the middle of this island's lake.
find some easy transportation that overall you end up being a lot quicker than waiting for this to come down.
That's where I'd be.
Whoa, that's got some lens flare going on. Would you like to decant your vehicle, please? Thank you.
Good, saddle up. We're moving out.
I got us covered.
No, no, we're in the passenger seat. Okay, have fun. That was good. good. The loading screen screwed me up when I was about to corner.
Oh, I had that one out. Oh, I greased him. Oh. It's like a postcard. Dear Sarge, kicking ass in outer space. Wish you were here.
I heard that, jackass.
So I believe that wall over there is meant to be the quarantine wall for the library area for this Halo, which is what you end up exploring over the course of the
Covenant has
next
control.
Arbiter level.
They're going to try and bottle us up on this side of the board. The controls to extend the bridge lead this structure.
Yeah, so it's those ghosts there that if you wanted to just ignore the fact that the game gives you a warthog, you can just come here and pick up those ghosts.
Yeah. Ah, this never gets old, mate. Ah. Think I need a medic. Eyes open. Hey, get ready now. Yeah.
You need to get out of the vehicle anyway, unless you the ghosts and kind of corral your way in here. Similar to the hologram in the previous area, this hologram actually counts as a NPC, so if you notice when I'm attacking it, it lunges me towards him. Game also
Bridge is down. Now about those bridges.
those holograms also imply that the language of the prophets is kind of just chanting in the Halo theme tune. Oh, I need to swap out this weapon, it's getting low on ammo. Again, this is by no means the quickest way of playing this level, but it's definitely the quote-unquote intended way to wait for this to come down. It's arguably the easiest way, because as in the one time you get a tank in Halo 1, whenever you get a tank in these games, it's pretty much just a free ride. There's, you know, nothing that's actually a threat to you while driving the tank. If you would mind dropping it, please. Is it this guy that's the problem?
Chief, I do not have time for idle chit-chat. It's a ghost! It's a ghost! Ghost inbound!
That's another case where I don't know whether it's possible to convince AI to fly close enough to you to actually hijack that thing. I've never tried it. Nor have I ever really heard anything about it. The one in Metropolis I've heard about because that's how you get the Scorpion gun. But I don't believe there's anything tied to getting that Banshee. They are actually a lot more liberal with the vehicle sections in Halo 2 than they were in Halo 1. Which is a good thing. Because as overpowered as things like the tank are, it is good to add variety to the gameplay with this kind of thing. So the fact that, so I alluded to in like one of the first streams that I think that Miranda Keyes is even worse than her dad for taking unnecessary risk and making things worse than they would have been if she just left well alone. The first instance of that, so far it's dubious. You can make an argument that they don't know for certain, but their current intel based on Cortana being inside the Halo ring is that they can't activate Halo without the intervention of a human. And therefore, if it was known that this Covenant ship came here without any humans in tow, they would not have been able to do anything with the ring. Again, that one's a bit dubious because they even allude to in Halo 1 that they're not 100% certain that they couldn't potentially find another way to activate the ring. But again, based on the knowledge as of right now, they have no reason to think otherwise. And clearly, as of Halo 3, the Covenant at least still think it's easier just to kidnap a human than it is to try and find some alternate method of activating the Halo ring. So this is a new thing in Halo 2. Not that it's the most interesting thing in the world, but they introduced these kind of canisters for weapon drops from Pelicans, probably to justify how you're getting more resources for human weapons in this game. Because at least over the course of Halo 1, there was enough human forces. Oh, I killed them. There was enough human forces that made landfall at the start of the game to justify why you would be able to find ammo caches, you know, kind of throughout the game. Whereas in this one, if we've literally only just made landfall, there shouldn't be any weapons kind of about at this stage. Again, it's not the most in-depth, oh my god, so detailed thing that you've seen, but it's better than nothing, I guess. As I said before, I just like using the precision weapons. That's true in multiplayer as well, which is probably why I get a lot of deaths in multiplayer. I'm always again, I haven't played multiplayer regularly since these games were kind of new, so 15 years ago or so. But to this day, more often than not, I pass up opportunities to pick up power weapons because I'm not confident enough in my own abilities to make good use of them.
You always bring me to such nice places.
Anyone else I can get eyes on from here? Right, you survived a sniper shot. You survived 2 sniper shots. Jesus. Like, I get it, I'm not going to shoot you anywhere vital, but... That's kind of the problem with the carbine is that you don't get the guarantee of the shot accuracy that you do with the battle rifle. As I said before, the battle rifle, the first shot of the 3-round burst is always guaranteed to be a dead-on blast, which they originally introduced for multiplayer balance purposes as well, weren't they? Tell me what that guy's story is. As you can imagine, because this area has shackle snipers, yet again it sucks if played on the high difficulties. I can't remember which way is progress, but it's not this way. You know what will be the worst thing if I end up playing, between wanting to replay the Halo, at least the original trilogy, if I end up just getting to the point where, in actuality, by the time Infinite comes out, I've played too much Halo and I'm just not interested in playing more Halo at that point.
Still no word about In Amber Clad on the Covenant battle.net. It's odd. The Covenant know we made landfall, but they don't seem to consider us a very serious threat. Boy, are they in for a big surprise. yourself. Honor guards.
So I think the Honor Guards end up filling a similar role to the Spec Op Elites from Halo 1 in terms of their like armor class and stuff like that. But the fact that this thing has a par time of 15 minutes is insane, because so much of this mission is just waiting. So much of Halo 2's campaign is just waiting, actually.
Wait, go back. That's what I thought he said. The Prophet of Regret is planning to activate Halo.
Are you sure?
I shall light this holy ring, release its cleansing flame, and burn a path into the divine beyond.
Pretty much.
Commander, we've got a problem.
So I hear.
But from what I understand, the Prophet will need an object, the Index, to activate the ring. I've located a library similar to the one you found on the first Halo. If the rings work the same way, the Index should be inside.
I'll bet the Covenant are thinking the exact same thing.
Then we better beat them to it, Sergeant. Extract your men and meet me at the library.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll secure the Index, Chief. You take out the Prophet. He's given us all the intel we need.
Like I said, so in the lore, the whole reason we're interested in even boarding a Covenant ship is to kidnap the Prophet in order to take them as a high-value target, high-value ransom, to opening a bargaining position to ending the war. Because up until this point, the Covenant have expressed no interest whatsoever in any dialogue. They clearly just encountered humanity and immediately tried to exterminate it. So the fact that we're now trying to assassinate this Prophet doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I don't know what assassinating the Prophet does for humanity's goals.
I had time to decipher these inscriptions. The Forerunners revered this place, that much is clear. But was it a temple or a university? I can't say.
Keeping the dream alive.
Oh, we alive, I think. Right, so this section kind of blows, for numerous reasons. So, what we're currently doing is we're waiting for this gondola to get here, so we can then follow it, eventually let it we can ride it back. In the meantime, here's this phantom, and it's going to drop off 2 hunters. Thankfully that one went down in one shot, so that was nice. Okay, I did not remember that they went down that easily to sniper rounds. That completely negated everything I was about to say. I was going to say,
I don't want to give away my position, so I'm rerouting a few stragglers back to you. I apologize. These Pelicans are all the support you're going to get.
Understood, ma'am.
The hunters are a lot more resilient in this game than they were in Halo 1. In Halo 1, you could kill them with 1 pistol round, but Nevertheless, it ain't pretty much of a threat. So now that we've defeated those hunters, which clearly the game anticipated taking me longer, all we're waiting for is for this to get here. The game does at least send over a pelican. Can I light up on
A gondola is launching from the far towers. Big surprise, it's full of Covenant reinforcements.
At least I can thin them out a bit before they get here. I should probably shop.
Now that was schooling, okay?
Well, they were nice enough to bring us a ride.
Might as well make sure my ammo's top before I go. Don't know why the audio mix is so different for the anniversary versions. Also, every time I switch to anniversary, it really hits out the frame rate. Like a static shot, if I just let go of the mouse and let it run static, it runs at about 100 frames a second. But for whatever reason, looking around really murders the frame rate. I don't know whether it's like a texture caching thing or what. You see, now it's running pretty smooth. Weird. Sigma Classic. Yeah, so the reason I say this thing is all down to waiting. So now we've got to ride this gondola across to that other side. Once we're on the other side, we then go into like a lift that takes us down through the water. Then there's a small underwater section. Then we end up in a facility that's kind of behind there. And then we ride a second gondola to actually get to that building, which is where we're aiming to go.
This lake couldn't have been formed by volcanic action, which means it was either built this way on purpose or was created by some other cataclysmic event. I'm sorry, were you trying to kill something?
Unless you're digging a grave back there, you're wasting my time. That's the way.
And this doesn't start moving again until you've killed everything on that second gondola, which we've now done, so it starts moving. And now we're just waiting to get to the other side. As I say, a lot of the level design in this game is just waiting. Now, I think... I'm trying to think. I know they definitely do it for the second gondola, I don't know whether they can do it for the first. So I mentioned sword flying a while ago. The version of sword flying I described was where you effectively try to attack something with a sword while you're in a vehicle, and then when you get out of the vehicle, it just gives you the momentum you should have had lunging towards the enemy. The alternative version is if you scope up with like a sniper rifle on an enemy, and then quickly switch to a sword and strike, it assumes that you were actually still scoped up on the enemy. And therefore gives you the full lunge, even though you're quite distant from them. And you can use that to effectively, once you get in, if you've got a sniper weapon and a sword, you can scope up on an enemy that is up on that ledge, and then quickly switch over the sword and strike them, and it'll just lunge you straight towards them.
I'll be a good girl, I promise.
This level does just seem to throw drones at you as space fillers. What we're waiting for is this lift at the mob.
Start counting.
Ah, now I see. There's a submerged section that connects these towers to the outlying structures. Looks like
You
we're
can
going
see it's just
down.
sat down there.
Unless you'd prefer to swim.
And suddenly enemies spawn into it and it starts coming up.
Full car coming up!
You might want to get in, dude. There we go. If I remember right, they make this underwater section way easier to see in Anniversary. Let's switch over. Yeah. In Anniversary, you can actually see this whole
I've
ruin
intercepted a secure
section.
transmission from Regret's carrier.
Whereas
something
in
called High Cherry.
Classic, it's really hard
It
to
seems to
discern.
be a formal apology to the prophets of truth and mercy. Apparently, Regret jumped the gun when he attacked Earth. He's asking the other prophets to forgive his premature arrival, arguing that no human presence was foretold. That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel about his enemy's homeworld.
What I'm not quite clear on is why this whole underwater section has so many ruins down here. Again, as Cortana pointed out, Halo being an artificial construct doesn't really make sense why there would be stuff like ruins and stuff like that of that nature. Maybe I'll go back and pick up that carbine once this room's cleared out. Good, you guys have short memories.
I've lost track of it.
You and me.
Right, go pick up that carbine, then we'll move on. Where was it? It was under this slope, wasn't it? I'll be going to be clearing this in the part-time, but whatever. Right, I didn't remember that there was a sword guy up there. That's a shame. If I had stuck in, that would have solved the problem. For fuck's sake. Excuse me. Yep, 2 more hunters. This time we don't have a sniper weapon with us. I'm not quite sure why they have the behaviour to drop their sniper weapon in flee. It's very odd. One thing I've completely avoided doing, by the way, is in Halo 2 Anniversary they did add terminals, like the ones we saw in the Halo 1 Anniversary. I have not internalised the location of any of those terminals, so I don't know where any of them are, hence why I'm not showing any of them off. If you saw that, that was kind of showing off that did kind of show off the poor range of the shotgun in this game compared to Halo 1. That guy took 3 friggin' rounds to take out. I'm not waiting for my dudes. My dudes are slow.
Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
Not as much to see on this one, it's mostly just rocks. Occasionally there's a line of dialogue that triggers from Regret there, but it's very inconsistent. This area kind of sucks because you've got to try and get up a very defensible position protected by very mobile enemies. What just hit me? I'm fully in cover. Do one of the needler rounds deflect into me? Okay. So the drone's taken it. One elite. Don't know whether that was a kill or not.
This is my last run, Chief. I'm nearly out of fuel. We've secured the first tower cluster, so I'll set down there. Call when you're ready for evac.
We'll just get the shotgun ammo and move on. There's another area through here. Go ahead and drop some reinforcements.
Take your time. I ain't going anywhere.
one thing you can do. So you can't carry more than 3 weapons at once. What you can do is kind of walk weapons forward. Which I'll show off in a second. You are of course relying on the generosity of the game not to be spawned to walk forward weapons, but in this instance it's worth doing. So for instance we've got this rocket launcher here. Every time you pick it up and drop it for another item, it kind of drops forward of you, so you can kind of walk it in there. And so because we're about to ride this gondola, I would like to have it on the gondola with me. So all you do is just repeatedly pick up the weapon you want and drop it until it's in the position you want. The reason you don't do this an awful lot is because, for the most part, you're not hanging around an area long enough for it to matter, but when you're on the gondola, obviously anything that comes with you is a welcome add. No, I'm just playing on normal, it's a pretty casual playthrough. I consider doing heroic, but I just... The only reason I'm replaying through the games at the minute is because I wanted to revisit them before Halo Infinite came out. So, did you just throw a grenade at Banshee? What is wrong with you?
I can't see it.
I mean, Halo 2 in particular, I've never even played on Legendary without any skulls, let alone LASO. Because Halo 2 on Legendary is an absolute nightmare.
Everyone's gotta die sometime, baby. Hey, when you gonna start fighting, Split Lip?
Probably should start switching to human weapons. Alright, there's a rocket launcher there as well. Right, they don't spawn in until you get closer, do they? Oh, the waiting game. I've been saying this for probably years now, but I need to get a fucking working thermostat in my house. My house oscillates between way too hot and way too cold at a ridiculous frequency. That's the joys of playing on normal difficulty. You get to stand still and take what shots you want to take and not really worry about it.
That's the largest Covenant fleet I've ever seen. The largest anyone's ever seen. Get inside the temple and kill regret before it can stop us.
I did wonder why the music wasn't playing the anniversary version, and I realised that's probably a pre-rendered scene. The anniversary.
The Covenant fleet has launched multiple waves of phantoms. Too many for me to track. We don't have much time.
So this section is what I would consider to be the second boss fight in the game. and it is,
There are honor guards
to me,
all over this place. Watch your back.
the biggest example of Bungie's ambition not meeting their capability. So they talked about how, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you ran up to like a hierarch, you know, prophet hierarch, and you know, jumped onto their, you know, little floaty chair and beat them to death. You know, wouldn't that be such a cool, epic, you know, really exciting moment?
There's the target. Take him out.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it just turns into you hold E to mount them, and then just mash the melee button, and then he's dead, and that's the end. It's just like, oh, that was all we did. Okay, that's all we did.
The Phantoms are turning around. The fleet is preparing to fire on our position. We need to get out of here.
It's very underwhelming. SMT3 on Switch and pre-rendered cutscenes so jarring. Yeah, I accept pre-rendered stuff in cases where the if the visual style is in keeping with the in-game graphics, but it's mostly just operating at a scale or with scene transitions that it'd be difficult to in-engine, I'm fine with that. I mean, Halo 2 Anniversary's pre-rendered scenes kind of get passed because they do look bloody amazing, because I'm pretty sure they were Blur Studios who did them. The other thing that bothers me about pre-rendered cutscenes is when they are pre-rendered to a terrible resolution. I mean, it's one thing that really takes you out of playing the Arkham games on PC nowadays, is that a lot of the cutscenes in that are... Oh, I actually got an achievement for that. Oh, rare. A lot of the cutscenes in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are pre-rendered. I don't think they particularly need it to be. Most of them don't do anything that couldn't have been done in engine. But on the PC version, the resolution bitrate of those videos is absolutely fucking awful compared to what you can get just rendering the game directly nowadays. So I probably will stream some of the Arkham games at some point, because I do replay them fairly consistently. I played through Asylum and City with the missus a couple of years ago, and we'd held off doing Origins until the winter. By the way, this is another case of Bungie's ambition outweighing their capability. The way they talk in their vid docs is that this is meant to be a really pivotal scene for the Covenant, with the changing the guards from the elites to the brutes. It doesn't sell. There's not been enough established. It just kind of happens in the background.
Recommissioning the guard was a radical step, but recent
And it just feels like it's got like the fucking Star Wars Episode 1 politics vibe of I don't really care. Yeah, we're not given enough time to kind of seep in Covenant culture to really think, oh my god, this is such a big thing.
How tiresome. Do you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, the plan had been that we'd play through Arkham Origins last winter, and as it turned out, we never found the time to do so. Origins gets quite a bad rap, actually, because people talk about how, first of all, it's very derivative of City, in a very literal sense, as in, Origins only exists because Warner wanted another game out while they were waiting for Arkham Knight.
We renewed our faith in the prophecy.
And so it cribs most of City's map, and most of the tools you get are just reskins of stuff from City, so it's not particularly exciting. And also it's probably the least stable of the Arkham games. But personally, I think the voice actors put in a good performance, and I think the story in isolation is probably the best standalone story of the Arkham games. Even if it falls in some of the cliches and causes a lot of continuity issues with some of the other stuff that Rocksteady done, which they're now trying to set straight with the Killer Suicide Squad game. Not Killer Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, that's the one. Anyway, I just spoke over all the dialogue of that cutscene. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Just saying out to, hey, you go to the library, get the
Once the
index.
shield is down, we will head straight to the library. I do not wish to keep the Hierarchs waiting.
The human that killed the Prophet of Regret. Who was it?
Who do you think?
The demon is here?
Why? Looking for a little payback?
Retrieving the icon is my only concern.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that is meant to be the quarantine wall you see from where you were the previous mission. It'd be nice if they actually tied that back properly by letting you see kind of the location of the previous mission behind you, but they don't really do that. Yeah, sometimes I wonder whether I should play the, unless that's meant to be where you are, but the scale is so out of whack. They're looking better from Anniversary Edition? Nope, not really. I mean, it's a rendered geometry rather than a matte painting. Also, God, High Charity is a lot closer than it was a minute ago. I guess that's true in both versions there. Okay, so we've got a carbine. For this level, the plasma rifle is better than the plasma pistol. Plasma pistol is generally better for popping popping shields, but we're not going to be popping any shields in this level because there's no elites that we're fighting. So we're I could have dual wielded these actually. Oh well. So this whole sequence is this game's equivalent of the library in Halo 1. As per usual, the Flood are probably the weakest part of the game. Obviously we already encountered the Flood in the previous level, but nevertheless. This level is not as bad in the library in the sense of you do go through more varied environments than the library, rather than just 4 floors of the same thing over and over again. But it's a bit maze-like, especially this first half of the level. And again, there's a lot of just having to wait for things. This entire opening section, it's easiest just to run straight through.
Reach the shield's power source, Arbiter. Overload the locks holding it in place. It's useless to attack an enforcer from the front, especially when their shields are up. Stay in the shadows. One more, Arbiter. This is injury. Then strike the...
Yeah, they make out like this guy's like a massive threat, but you can kind of just ignore him. And then as soon as you get this door open, with the 6-fingered key lock, he just explodes. I didn't shoot him once, he just explodes. I don't know why. Like, I basically never bothered to fight that dude, because it's just... As soon as you open that door, he just dies. Oh, okay. There's me a job, I guess.
Our path to the library is clear. I'll pick you up on the ledge ahead.
So I've just receded the quarantine wall, aka let the Flood out, which is always a sensible thing to do. So I don't know, I don't think we ever get any detail in game about it, but In Halo 1, the Halo ring was pretty well under containment until you guys got there. Whoa, what just landed on me? Pretty well under containment until, oh, for God's sake, until the events of the game happen. Whereas in Halo 2, why is it checkpointing me all the way back here? Fucking hell. In Halo 2, the library area, which is itself self-contained, so it hasn't breached onto the entire ring, but the library area is a fucking shit show.
Pick you up on the bench ahead.
I don't know why it left this to you. Sentinels are proving more of a problem at the minute because of how they're all hit scan. Oh, for fuck's sake. And let me guess, I'm checkpointed all the way back over there again. Yep. Oh, I love having to sit through 30 seconds of nothing every time I want to make another attempt.
Our path to the library is clear. I'll pick you up on the bench ahead. Make your own way to the wall, Lavender.
I could do with some human weapons, really, like the swords. Until Halo 3 comes along and change all the rules, human weapons are generally your best bet for flood fighting. Nothing particularly good got dropped. I feel like 343 have been almost restrained in never bringing back the flood so far in their games. Maybe we'll see some flood in Halo Infinite, I don't know. Yeah, this is why having Covenant weapons sucks against flood. The carbine's only good if you get headshots on them. Plasma rifle does fuck all, quite frankly. As you can see, plasma weapons crap on the flood. Well-known established fact from Halo 1 and Halo 2. It's completely thrown out the fucking window in Halo 3. It's a rare scenario where I actually want this engine. Only temporarily, mind. Ideally, I want a shotgun, but to do than a plasma rifle when you're dealing with a flood. There's a shotgun. What the hell? I'm all the way back here. Well, I already know I don't need 2 SMGs because of the shotguns around the corner. Oh. Again, this is precisely the problem. As soon as your shield pops, if you're near an infection form, you're just dead. You are just dead if your shield popped when you're next to an infection form. Which I'd get on the high difficulties, but in Halo 1, on normal at least, getting touched by an infection form with no shield wasn't a death sentence. Sorry, who's got a shotgun? Can you not run straight at me with a shotgun, please? Fucking, I can't afford something. And yeah, the shotgun range is so much worse in Halo 2 compared to Halo 1. What? I'm back here. This is not going well so far. The game is not being generous with checkpoints, I can tell you that much with all. The Floods are way more skittish in this game as well. Who are we shooting at them? This whole section gets very confusing. I think we won't be going right, but I think we're go left. So we won't be going right. I'm not seeing it. Is it along the back wall? Yeah, it's up here. That's what I'm missing. Thank you for the shotgun, much appreciated. I think I'll try and get this entire pseudo library section finished today, but I think we'll probably call it a stream after this. It'll be this mission and the following mission, and then call it a day.
Cover that doorway!
This is a vista across the library with a preview of the area you're going to be travelling through. So yeah, this entire stretch of Delta Halo was just fucked before we even got here. Sword's probably a better weapon than the shotgun. Sorry, than the battle rifle. Obviously, I don't have any range options now, but given that we're only fighting Flood, that's probably not the biggest detriment. I think this is nearly the end of this stage anyway, I could be wrong. I don't remember where this drops you out. The thing is, the end of this level just feels... yeah, this is the end of the level. This always feels like a very arbitrary spot to end the level to me. So you get here, they drop in a few elites. You do a fight in this little arena. Well, that was a bull true. Bull true being the medal you get if you manage to kill someone when they're in the middle of a sword lunge. For anyone not aware. I think, the same as in Halo 1, you can make effectively friendly Flood by just shooting off both of their arms, which then means they've got no means of actually attacking you.
We must do what we can against the Flood. Our commander has landed further in. Let us join him.
Am I meant to be pushing on, or am I just waiting? I guess we're coming through here.
Arbiter, what are you doing here?
The Flood is upon us.
We must hold this camp until reinforcements arrive.
This Arbiter is an impressive killer.
I'm also using human weaponry, which, by the novelizations, I should be incredibly ostracized for doing. At this stage, using human weapons would be perceived by the Covenant as a massive debasement.
Come this way.
Are we doing enough to trigger the level transition yet? There we go.
In the center of this zone is a sacred icon critical to the Great Journey. I must find it. We shall cut into the heart of this infestation, retrieve the icon, and burn any flood that stand in our way. The parasite is not to be trifled with. I hope you know what you're doing.
So,
warriors, and fear not pain or death.
oops.
I'll follow when our reinforcements arrive.
So this is a Spectre. This is the Covenant equivalent to the Warthog. I don't believe that this vehicle has actually appeared in any other game besides Halo 2. I could be wrong. But in Halo 3, get a equivalent kind of brute style vehicle rather than this one, which is clearly more elite style. Although in terms of its capabilities as a driver, it's pretty much just... it drives pretty similar to the Ghost, rather than it being like a four-wheel drive, you know, traditional vehicle. You can kind of circle strafe in it. You know, you can kind of move all four directions. You've also got a boost functionality. Do you get an opportunity to take a tank? Oh, no, we're there. I say, the moment before the tank appears, and then it kills me. We still haven't actually driven a Ghost at any point during this campaign. I've had opportunities to, I've just not taken them. So I was going to discuss the differences between the Ghosts in Halo 2 and Halo 1, but pretty much the difference is just the Ghost can boost now. Oh, by the way, one thing that these things can do that is a real fucking pain in the arse if they do it is they can actually come down and grab your vehicle. And I'm pretty sure if they do that, it's just instant death.
Keep moving, I'm on my way.
You could also choose to take a walk with you guys. Alright, one take my tank. See it. I know it's a bit boring of me to use the same vehicle yet again, but as we've previously established, the tank is just the most overpowered vehicle in the game, so there's no reason not to fucking take it. Pretty much its only downside is the fact that it's slow. But given the amount of firepower it puts out, it's hardly a big detriment and just kind of blasts your way through anything that's a threat anyway. So you'll notice how many kind of human combat form flood there are around. That's thanks to Miranda trying to come in to get the icon. Given what I know, they kind of didn't expect to be arriving at a Halo ring, but given what they knew about the previous Halo, you would think that they would exercise an abundance of caution in entering any zone that might have flood outbreaks involved. given that the Flood represents a far more prominent existential threat to the galaxy than even the Covenant do. Is this the way it goes? Yeah. Another vehicle we're not actually driven at all yet this campaign is the Wraith, which is the Covenant tank we can now finally drive. The truth is, they're quite awkward to pilot, especially compared to the Scorpion, the human tank. The Scorpion, being a tank, you just point and fire and it shoots the thing it wants to go. It shoots the thing you're looking at. I cannot talk tonight, I apologise. But the Wraith effectively acts more like a mortar, which on the one hand has the advantages of the mortar in that you can fire into defensible positions that with a direct line of fire you can't. So it's good in that respect, but it has all the drawbacks of the mortar in that you're effectively having to do internal calculations as to what angle you're aiming at in order to have it impact at the site that you need it to for your purposes. I do recall, kind of contemporary to this game coming out, someone trying to theorise why Halo 2 feels, I don't know, a lot lower energy than Halo 1, and someone did ascribe it a lot to the atmosphere in a very literal sense, in the sense that in Halo 1 most of the stages take place, well, at least until the Flood outbreak, take place during the daytime in fairly nice weather conditions. You, generally speaking, are getting a lot of nice, like, vistas and stuff like that. Whereas in this game, most of the skyboxes are kind of bleak. I mean, look at this situation. It's kind of dusk, it's snowy, it's, you know, not the most pleasant setting. It's not a very nice. It's not like a very nice wintry snow. It's like the kind of snow that you think, "Fuck me, just get me inside. I don't want to deal with this." Now, if you come to this point with a ghost, you can kind of wriggle your ghost through here and carry on with a vehicle throughout the remainder of the level, which had it in the speed run, but we came in a tank, so that's not an option. This room always confuses me, because it is a room that just feels, the fact that it's on a slight tilt doesn't help, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, the truth is, if you just push straight forward from where you come in, it's pretty straightforward, but the thing is, if you try and engage in any other combat down there, it's so easy to get disoriented. I don't know whether this is the right weapon loadout to be chugging it out with. Something's happening behind me, I'm not getting involved in it. Another fairly similar environment. Thankfully this one's a slightly more straightforward to navigate through. How many shotgun blasts are you going to take? fuck off. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fine, we'll try the sword instead. What? Oh. They also have a sword. I was going to say, I don't see any justification for why I should be dead in one hit. Now this is actually my first time boarding a vehicle, isn't it? We are going to get to drive a Wraith. Yeah, so as I said earlier on, boarding a vehicle just involves getting close to it and then holding the E button. What you do when you board a vehicle depends on what type of vehicle it is. In the case of tanks, be it the Covenant tanks or the human tanks, what boarding does is you end up getting onto the outer shell of the vehicle, and then you have the opportunity to melee attack the kind of the canopy of the vehicle. And the initial thing you're aiming for there is to damage the canopy enough to expose the driver, at which point you can either continue to melee attack, which will hopefully deal enough damage to the driver to kill them, to leave the vehicle relatively intact and able for you to steal, or you can plant a grenade which will then destroy the vehicle. Scorpion over there. I knew there was one at some point further ahead. Given that's intact, we'll probably be better switching to that. For reasons previously stated, scorpions are generally easier to control. Pelican over there. Again, this human's effort to get this icon has not gone swimmingly. I mean, there's plenty of Covenant troops here as well, so you can hardly say that they've had a good time of it, but yeah, I think we're at the last section of the level now. Nice. Yeah, because what do we need to close out the level but another fucking gondola? I think we missed an event in the skybox earlier on, by the way. One thing you do see, you're meant to see at some point in this level that I think I just didn't actually pay attention to, is you see the... I don't think that is meant to be just floating like that. You see the, in Amberclad, the human ship, kind of in orbit around, you know, kind of just hovering above the...
On your way, Arbiter. I'll deal with these.
Above the the library, and then what happens is, yeah, something's gone wrong with that cutscene. Something's gone very wrong with that cutscene. My character model is not meant to stay there like that. No, as I was saying, so you see in Amberclad, and then it effectively gets attacked by Flood and explodes and descends onto the surface of the ring, which is another aspect of, yeah, Miranda Keyes is a fucking terrible commander, because, hey, you know, this flesh-consuming parasite that, if given the opportunity to, will just consume all life in the galaxy. How about we give them a spaceship? That's a great plan. I love it. Yeah, so this whole section you're stuck on a gondola. Waves of flood just occasionally board you. Sometimes they come on from platforms as you go past above, and quite often they just come through this fucking hole in the bottom for no good reason. Why are there so many flood with swords? That's the eye routine there. You'll probably notice that although we're playing as a Covenant character, they make a point never to actually have you directly fight any humans. Human-infected Flood, sure. Humans, no. You never fight any humans. I don't know whether that is like a story design thing of they wanted to not have the Arbiter cross some kind of moral event horizon for the audience. Where maybe if you saw him actually fighting humans, that would kind of break your sympathy for him, or whether that's an age rating thing that they can get away with, maybe a teen rating in the US by having you. I don't know whether this was rated teen or mature. I'm not sure. Point being, I don't know whether they can get away with a lower age rating if you're just fighting aliens as opposed to fighting humans, and therefore by limiting who you fight, even as a alien character, to be only humans, then. Sorry, only aliens, then they can get away with more. Thankfully he missed. Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you fucking kidding me? I forgot that the checkpoints in this whole section are a load of shit. We're all the way back at the fucking beginning. Jesus Christ. This is really the biggest problem with Halo 2's campaign. So many sections in the campaign are just you're on a platform and you're waiting for shit to happen, or you're in an arena and you're just waiting for scripts to go off. before you can move on. And the checkpointing is just not built to deal with it either. That's the other problem. Because part of the problem is the checkpoints are only designed to actually fire if there's no enemies around. But sometimes, I mean, like for instance, earlier in the stream when I was at the start of the Arbiter section down here, I ended up replaying an early section repeatedly because I kept getting killed and it wouldn't checkpoint. Part of the reason it wouldn't checkpoint is because I wasn't eliminating all of the infection forms. And those infection forms are enough to consider the area not safe. So by not killing the infection forms, again it's like, oh, we can't risk checkpointing you here because we don't know what will happen. Like, they're shooting at something right now. I don't know what. I don't know what they're shooting at. Whatever it is, it's okay. There are some blood on board. I was going to say, whatever it is they're shooting at, it's enough for the game to think, yeah, it's not safe. You can't have a checkpoint, it's not safe. Probably the fact that the platform's moving is also discouraging it from checkpointing. Shotgun range is so bad. Oh, that line of dialogue was in the process of triggering when I got killed last time. And was also the herald for a checkpoint. Is it me or is the flood AI just keep stopping every so often? The game's not quite sure what to do with them. Like this one, it just stopped. What the hell? Right, you really don't get much chance to appreciate it, but this is actually, we've actually reached the library now, and this is clearly how you're meant to get in the library if you're not getting teleported there, and the layout of this particular area is meant to be reminiscent of the library from Halo 1. Again, you don't get a lot of time to appreciate it. That's also the gondola that humans came across on. I don't think there's anything interesting to see on it. Is it wrong to say that this game's visual style probably doesn't hold up quite as well as Halo 1's? Like, don't get me wrong, Halo 1 has some really stiff animations, but I feel like the texture work holds up better in Halo 1.
The index is secure.
But Halo 2 goes for a more detailed look,
You hear me, Marines?
but doesn't have the texture budget to really pull it off.
How you doing?
Sergeant, stay down! Johnson, you alright?
Miranda Keys is just a fucking 12-year-old.
Excellent work, Arbiter. The Hierarchs will be pleased.
The Icon is my responsibility.
What's your responsibility? Now it is mine. A bloody fate awaits you and the rest of your incompetent race. And I, Tartarus, chieftain of the brutes, will send you to it.
When the prophets learn of this, they will take your head.
When they learn. Fool. They ordered me to do it.
Oh no, what a shocker. I'm so taken aback by these revelations. I can't deal with it. Well, we've got a big story dump cutscene now. Which admittedly, it's a shame I've not got the pre-render version of this, because they did a brilliant job of making the Gravemind actually horrifying rather than just looking like perfect chaos from Sonic Adventure, but flesh instead of water, which is what you get in original release Halo 2.
What is that?
I am a monument to all your
Yeah, it's just... This version of Gravemind is just not convincing as a horrific entity. And in Halo 3 they go out of the way never to actually show Gravemind.
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
demon. This one is machine and nerve, and has its mind concluded. This one is but flesh and faith, and is the more deluded.
Kill me or release me, parasite. But do not waste my time with talk.
There is much talk, and I have listened through rock and metal and time. Now I shall talk, and you shall listen.
Greetings. I am 2401 Penitent Tangent. I am the monitor of Installation 05.
And I am the Prophet of Regret, Counselor Most High, Hierarch of the Covenant.
A reclaimer? Here? At last. We have much to do. This facility must be activated if we are to control this outbreak.
Stay where you are. Nothing can be done until my sermon is complete.
Not true. This installation has a successful utilization record of 1.2 trillion simulated and 1 actual. It is ready to fire on demand.
Of all the objects our lords left behind, there are none so worthless as
There's a
these
human
oracles.
skull above
Know
Regret there.
nothing of the great journey.
And you know nothing about containment. You have demonstrated complete disregard for even the most basic protocols.
This one's containment. And this one's
But there's several human skulls.
are the same. Your prophets have promised you freedom from a doomed existence, but you will find no salvation on this ring. Those who built this place knew what they wrought. Do not mistake their intent, or all will perish as they did before.
This thing is right. Halo is a weapon. Your prophets are making a big mistake.
As I pointed out last stream, they still do not make specific what the ring actually does. They really want a second bite of that cherry to say, oh, we'll do the same twist where it turns out this is what Halo does.
To stop the key from turning, but first it must be found. You will search one likely spot, and you will search another.
It really bothers me, it feels cheap.
Meet as foes, but this ring will make us brothers.
It would probably make more sense if you played the entire game as the Arbiter, but then you're looking at Halo 5 territory there, where it's just like, well, you make us go through a whole game where we don't see the main character.
We are, all of us, gravely concerned. The release of the parasite was unexpected, unfortunate, but there is no need to panic. In truth, this is a time to rejoice. A moment that all the Covenant should savor. For the sacred icon has been found. With it, our path is clear, our entry into the divine beyond guaranteed. The great journey is nigh, and nothing, not even the flood, can stop it.
Ooh.
The animation of that grunt is so fucking lazy.
Kill the demon.
Also, it seems pretty complacent of them to bring the icon back to High Charity. We're not playing this level, it's just I wanted to get to a checkpoint if I could. The fact that you spawn in with just a fucking needler is horrific. Absolutely abysmal.
Brutes.
Okay,
The
there
faster
we
you
go.
can kill those brutes, the better. They don't have shield generators, but take them out before it's berserking.
So we'll talk more about brutes next stream, because we're going to be fighting a lot of brutes from here on out. But let it be known that brutes are the worst fucking enemy in this game, and just a terrible addition overall. Okay, he's dead.
Infiltrated the council chamber.
I'm just waiting for a checkpoint. I don't want to sit through the whole cutscene again next stream.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, there we go. Alright, we'll call it there. Let's say the brutes are not a good fucking addition to the game. They're really not. They get better in Halo 3, but that's not. They get better in Halo 3 by effectively turning them into elites, is what they do. Right. No more streams today because it's 10:30 already. I'm fairly tired. That tension headache is already coming back. Unless I do another lunchtime stream of Halo 2, I think next session I'm just going to finish the game. Because there's 4 missions left, and I believe the last 2 of those are both relatively short as well. So we'll just get this over and done with. And then, as I was saying on yesterday's Metroid Dread stream, I could do with picking up something new at some point. Still haven't decided what yet. But you'll know when I'm streaming it. Alright. See you in a bit.